Welcome and be inspired. Welcome and be inspired with Dominic. Today's video will be another cult video, or more cult focus I should say. There won't be a project, not this time around, but maybe you'll find them enjoyable. It's another one of Ginny D's POV videos where, well, basically the cult answers some questions with the interview.
Where are you taking us this time?
Another casting?
No, it said they would help us find new members.
Oh, good morning, my dear.
This place does not look like what I expected.
May Suni shine the light of her love and beauty upon your days. I am so thrilled to meet you. Now, please tell me the name of the ravishing creature standing before me.
Which one?
Does she mean all of us? The last thing I ravaged was a pizza.
Did it have a name?
It had pineapple on it.
Breathtaking.
I can hear a whoosh of a number of red flags going up.
Whole pineapples? Is there another way to eat pizza?
Yes, but let's move on.
Well, I am Edith Helmina Fairthimble, and I am so happy that you have decided to welcome love into your heart.
I don't like opening my heart. It always makes a mess.
You know, I work with people all across the world who are just like you. They're all looking for that special someone. Or a few special someones. We don't pass judgments like that here. Today, I am just going to ask you a few questions about yourself, about what you're looking for, about your past. I know that you don't know me, but I'm going to have to ask you to be honest with me. That's the only way this works. But don't worry, it is completely confidential. This stays between you, me, and Suni herself. First things first, we're going to have to get down the basics. So, how old are you?
Why, do you think we are childish?
Not much room for doubt there. I am ancient and amorphous.
You know, if you keep telling everyone, it will ruin the surprise.
But it is true.
Last time I checked, I was 3. You mean you haven't checked since then? I didn't see any reason to. I guess it's fair to say that I don't need to adulterate my age.
That's not what that means.
But I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Do you have a preference with regards to gender?
Cult leader.
Ever since the movie came out, I'm a bit ambivalent about it. But I am flexible.
Okay, noted.
I would like to have one, please.
One what?
One gender.
Okay, but which one?
Does it matter?
I don't think so.
Any objection to fangs, horns, wings, or tails?
Yes, I do object. Cleaning these fangs takes ages. The horns tend to chip. The wings are hard to handle when getting dressed, and I hate being stepped on the tail. You have a tail?
I don't think she meant things you have, but things that others have.
Oh, I try not to step on other people's tails. I would like to have wings someday.
All right.
You know how expensive they are.
Yeah, I know that would be a stretch.
As long as none of you gets any more horny.
Not bad for a first pun.
Thank you. Wait, that wasn't my first.
It was the first one we noticed.
Have you had a relationship before?
No, this is my first proper cult. I did my apprenticeship in a more of a commune type of thing, so I don't think that counts.
I don't even think we count. I mean, we're just work, right?
Yeah, a whole lot of work you are.
Isn't that what a relationship is about? I'm not sure. I heard it said that teamwork makes the Pixar.
I'm pretty sure that that's not how that saying goes.
And isn't everything a relationship? I mean, I have a good relationship with our male person. After the previous ones got eaten by mountain goats.
Don't start again with the lair. I know it's remote, but we cannot afford any better at the moment.
Relationship enough for you?
How recent are we talking here?
A couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, it feels like 3/4 of an average eternity. But for you, I imagine we talked less than a minute ago.
That's not what she means. She asked about us talking.
Talking about previous relationships.
Ah, half a minute then, I guess.
Let's move on to the next question.
And do you sleep in pajamas or in the nude?
Wow, you're not leaving anything to the imagination, are you? It varies, but I have the thing that used to be a brazier.
What kind of answer is that?
A very comfortable one.
I like to air out my ropes during the night.
With you still inside them?
It's more effective that way. How about you?
I don't see how I could do this question justice without mentioning that the heating in the lair is only on for 1 hour a day.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
That's a rather cold stance to take.
And you complain about the quality of my puns?
I do have some hot takes to warm me up if need be. About your question, I think with all this bickering, it's a miracle we get any sleep at all.
Okay, I may be wrong, but I can't help but sense a little bit of trepidation coming off of you. But some part of you must be looking for love, even if it's not a conscious part. Otherwise, Suni would not have brought you to me.
I am looking for warmth.
I told you before, keep the lair out of this.
So, do yourself a favor, or at least humor me, and give it a shot, all right? Okay. So, let's talk about what you are looking for in a partner. What would you say is your type? What do you find attractive about a person? And don't say redheads, because I'll think you're flirting with me. No, I'm just joking. You can say redheads.
Redheads. With ketchup. That is not what she meant. Oh. Then magnetism.
Yeah, some people are just naturally attractive.
Oh, of course. I agree with you completely there.
I think Cultist 2 is referring to actual magnetism. Yeah. I notice in my glands whenever you turn on the microwave.
So you find people with microwaves attractive?
It's true.
No comment. At least they can heat up food at a moment's notice.
Personally, I'm all for the simple things. Casual plans for world domination, gentle ideas about spreading terror.
And enough consideration for others to conduct rituals and sacrifices on plastic sheets to make the cleanup easier.
That is very considerate, I agree.
Thank you.
Describe for me your perfect date. What would you want to do? Where would you want to go?
I will go with my favorite one. The 11th of November, 11. 1911? 1111.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That is not the kind of date she meant.
That's a lot of ones. Yeah, if you ask me for the one, this is literally it.
That's what you're going with?
Yes. Mine includes a cozy blanket and some chocolate.
And what calendar would that be?
A tasty one.
This is getting us nowhere.
Based on where you are in your life right now, are you ready to settle down, raise a family, or are you looking for something a little more casual?
I'm open to many things, but I'm not sure that necromancy is in this cult's future.
I don't think that is the kind of raising she meant.
Why? What else is there?
I don't like undead. They smell.
Not if you raise them right.
I think something a little more casual it is.
Oh, absolutely, yes. We can work with that.
I concur. Don't raise anyone wearing a suit, I always say.
Now, I know you're an adventurer. You probably do a lot of travel. Are you okay with long distance, or would you expect your partner to come along with you on the road?
We, the cult, will always go the distance.
Speaking of questions that were not meant that way.
I know what she meant. And I do expect potential new members to come to us.
Yeah, working remotely is just not possible when you need to bleed into a bowl for ritual. Not sure we should lead with that one.
You are not leading anyone. I am the leader of this cult.
Let's just say that our lair is pretty remote, so anyone who joins us would be long distance with the rest of the world.
Is that what she meant?
No, but it's better than what you said.
What about deal breakers? Annoying habits, religious affiliations, pets? Anything you absolutely would not stand for?
I mean, we are not evil, so anyone who is really mean would be a no-go.
Not evil yet.
I'll have a pet, thank you. A chair for me. I'd rather sit in a chair than stand for one.
I guess I'm pretty tolerant, seeing how I came here with these two deal breakers.
What? At least we don't leave our laundry laying around.
That's not laundry. Those are the remains of the victims I leave in my wake.
Completely unrelated. Can I add delusional to my list of deal breakers? And I a sledgehammer to mine?
Okay, got it. You know, let's get a little uncomfortable here. It's time to talk about your dating history. Now, if you have not dated extensively before, just think about relationships in your life in general. So, friendships, family. We can learn a lot from how you relate to people, even outside of a romantic context. Although, look at you. I would find it hard to believe that nobody's tried to snap that up. So, are you usually the pursuer or the pursued? Are you the one that breaks up or the one that gets broken up with?
I think I speak for the three of us when I say that it is hard to pursue someone wearing these robes. And being pursued usually does not last long. Again, because of the robes.
I think she meant in a metaphysical sense.
You wear metaphysical robes?
No, at least I don't think so.
Last week, I managed to pursue a mountain goat. Successfully, I might add. You dressed up as a stone and practiced for weeks before you managed to catch it. I don't think that counts. At least the goat was heartbroken after that. Tasty, too.
Again, probably not what she meant.
Are you still talking about the goat?
Did you have a relationship with that goat?
No. Except for that short moment when I burst out from under my disguise to scare it to death. Not sure that counts.
You scared that goat to death?
I tried. It started laughing and couldn't stop.
It laughed itself to death?
Yes. That and the sheer drop of 200 feet.
That is interesting. Tell me, what went wrong in your last relationship? Do you take any responsibility there?
I'm not sure we answered any of your questions the way they were intended to be answered, but that makes us endearing, right?
At least that is what I tell them.
You're taking credit now?
Of course.
On brand.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear that, honey. That must have been really rough. You know, sometimes things just don't work out. But you can't spend the rest of your life thinking about it, or you'll end up like me. Always the matchmaker, never the match. Never mind. We're talking about you. Let's stay on task. Do you have a one that got away? Somebody you still think about a lot?
That goat certainly did not get away.
It tried. It was the last thing it ever did.
I feel like we are milking this one for all it's worth.
Well done.
Thank you.
Seriously though, there was Cultist 4. Don't.
We don't mention them.
Sorry.
I'm disappointed. Almost like you are seeding interesting story beats that we will not deliver on for ages.
Very rewarding for long-term followers, though.
That it is.
We digress. Like, a lot.
Does that make our attention the one that got away?
What? I like that.
Thank you for sharing all this with me. I know it can be hard to open up. We're just going to get a little bit deeper now. Let's talk about you. What kind of baggage are you carrying with you? What do you need to work on? Trust issues? Abandonment issues? Don't be shy. This is a safe space.
There is this old wardrobe trunk in the lair that Cultist 2 insists we keep.
There are unspeakable things in there, hence the heavy iron chains.
I think we need to work on answering questions the way they are intended. I agree. We should not have mentioned Cultist 2's unspeakables here.
They are not that bad.
And you have a whole trunk full of them. This is getting out of hand.
Some of the unspeakables have no hands.
I have to say, you are doing a great job at ignoring all our all-over-the-placeness. That's not even a word. Proves my point, though.
Oh, I hear you there.
Okay, I try to avoid it, but I hereby call this cult to order. That's pointless.
Yeah, we don't provide food deliveries.
What? No point in calling us to order. Please ask your next question.
You know, people say you don't date the person, you date the family. So in your case, what does that mean? If someone dates you, what are they also getting in the bargain? Your party? Your patron? Someone else?
I mean, we are the cult. Kind of a package deal.
For bad or worse.
That is strangely accurate.
Let's talk about a different kind of language proficiency. I'm not talking about Dwarvish or Celestial. I'm talking about love languages. You know, your love language. How do you show someone that you love them? And how do you want to be shown that someone loves you? Gifts? Physical touch? Romantic words?
I present them with cult robes.
You do? We had to bring our own.
I get the feeling that is the point. Personally, I'm a sucker for creative ideas and kindness. Is that why you are so into Dominic's videos?
Absolutely, I understand that.
I have a sucker for climbing smooth surfaces.
You do? That's so cool.
Yeah, but I barely get to use it because where we live is pretty rough.
That was that. Nice one.
I know this one might sound strange, but you only have to rescue one client from a hostage situation before you start to put this in the paperwork. So, do you have any extremely powerful enemies with a grudge against you who might want to use your partner as a way to get back at you?
I mean, there is Dominic. Is he really that powerful?
He seems to think so.
Who? Dominic or Cultist 1?
Yes.
I'm standing right here. I see. We need to thwart him. There's no telling what he could do otherwise. Wouldn't the Cult Classification Commission count as a powerful enemy too? No, of course not. We are trying to get an evil rating after all. Antagonizing them wouldn't do us any good. But any new cultist would have to deal with them too.
And the auditor would use them against us for sure.
I get the feeling I have powerful enemies much closer to home, with you two constantly spoiling my efforts.
He called us powerful.
It was a figure of speech. I heard. I didn't mean...
Powerful. I like that.
These two, they are already getting to me.
Duly noted. Last but not least, sexual compatibility. It's important. Would you describe yourself as adventurous? I mean, aside from the literal adventuring.
Of course we are. We even considered doing a few sea shanties at some point. Is that really the extent of our adventurousness? It would be a start.
I remember sea shanties.
Yeah, they are all the rage now.
I remember them from before.
Before when?
Just before.
Before what? You know not to push. But see, I'm adventurous. Before what?
Before networks that divide and being social kept you apart. Before the mechanical horse and the lightning caught in veins of metal. before hell tamed in boilers and words tied to pages, before people walked or sailed, before they burned the earth and boiled the sea, and I still remember.
Satisfied? Yes.
I guess that word means different things to different people.
What happened?
Nothing. We just talked about how sea shanties are cool.
That rings a bell.
Next question.
Tell me, have your previous partners described you as being good in bed? Don't look at me like that, it's on the form.
I am great in bed.
Are you?
Yes, I spent years shaping my brazier to fit my most relaxed form, so of course I'm great while I'm in there.
I like to curl up on my bed behind a pillow fort, so that is where my pillows vanish. Only the cozy ones. I prefer to sleep standing up while glaring menacingly into the distance.
That's rude. Let the distance have some privacy.
Well, should we believe them?
Who?
The people talking about your bed.
Why would they lie? It is a cozy brazier after all.
But it only fits your peculiar physique.
I have not been called that before.
And I regretted it the second I said it.
I appreciate that.
As for me, why would you feel the need to doubt other people? Is this kind of mistrust really necessary? I assume it is.
Okay. Any weird kinks I should know about? Shape-shifting? Necromancy? Don't be shy. Trust me, I've heard it all before.
All of that wasn't enough for you? You want more weirdness?
I have more.
I wish you didn't. Maybe keep something back as a surprise for later?
Okay.
All right. That is all I need for the initial interview. We will go ahead and start looking for compatible matches amongst our other candidates, including other temples as well as here. I already have a few people in mind. Actually, I interviewed the sweetest healer yesterday. Anyway, if we find a match for you, we will be in touch. And if you are happy with our services, we do accept contributions to the temple in the form of clothing, cosmetics, scents, jewelry, artwork, furniture, and chocolate. And statuary. Did I say statuary?
I'd rather keep the chocolate.
And remember, true love conquers all. As long as you follow your heart, all will be well.
Is my heart wandering again? Which one is it this time?
May Suni shine the light of her beauty upon you, sweetheart. Farewell.
So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should really subscribe to this channel down there, which is my channel. You should never subscribe to the Cults channel because they don't have one. For now. Let me know in the comments what you think, and do all the things that YouTube algorithm expects you to do when you really enjoyed the video and it was kind of life-changing or at least good. Which includes making sure to ring the bell. Because I'm certain that Cultist2 likes the sound. I hope to see you again next time, and until then, remember to be inspired. I just spent more than an hour wearing this, doing this, looking like this, but I hope you enjoyed it and it was worth it. I'll just collapse now. Also make sure to ring the bell, and you can't see my hands. I need a better lens. I can do it, why shouldn't I? I mean, those are my videos. I can do whatever I want. And I generally do.